Hello there, and welcome to the Galactic Burrito. My name is Darien, and today we are here in this beautiful cantina, owned by me, of course, to talk all things Star Wars. And today I have a guest with me. Welcome, Landon.
Hello there.
Yes. Also, though, not just us, but my little pal over here, my droid, CB7. Say hello, CB. That's great. All right. Today we're going to be getting into tons and tons of Star Wars stuff. Today was the final day of Star Wars Celebration, which has been going on for the last 4 days. Lots of stuff got revealed. We're going to talk about it all. But first, I want to get into some Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes. Very, very anticipated for the show. But probably more anticipated than anything Mandalorian related, in fact. But so far it has not disappointed me anyway.
So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Spoilers for episodes 1 and 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So they're both called Part 1 and Part 2. So there you go. All right. So I was very excited going into the show. Obi-Wan was my favorite character from the prequel trilogy, and like I love that. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie, and then followed by Empire Strikes Back. But and so like I was already anticipating this show immediately, and also hearing that Hayden Christensen was coming back to play Darth Vader. Oh yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of excitement.
The puzzle pieces are here, so. Yeah. And it's show's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say not much action in these first 2 episodes, which is good. I mean, I think it's a pro, honestly.
Yeah.
Get some good character build up.
Yeah. So basically, this takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
9 years before the beginning of A New Hope. So he goes in 9 years from Ewan McGregor to Alec Guinness.
Yes. I don't know how
he's been through a lot.
Those 10 years must not have aged well.
But let's go ahead. Let me talk about some stuff that went on. So we start the show, very cool opening of Order 66. The recap was awesome. Of showing all the stuff.
Yeah, it felt like one of those, because back while we were in school, I would watch a bunch of Star Wars like montage videos or whatever. Like one that's my favorite is Obi-Wan has PTSD. It sounds stupid, but it's just like that. It was like really cool.
Yeah. But it opens up this. It was really cool, and it showed the story in case you'd missed it. And then it cuts to the Order 66 scene. A bunch of younglings are training underneath a Jedi, and the clones come in. Did you notice that the clones in this looked a lot better than they did in the old Star Wars?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you know why?
Because they were CGI?
Yeah, well, they were CGI in the old one. These are actual practical clone suits now.
Oh, these are real people.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know.
I wonder what's better. Always good practical, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But it has the whole thing, and they're running through the hallways. It's really cool, like... it wasn't one shot, but like it's only about 3 shots throughout the whole scene, and the camera's really just following everybody in a really like panicky motion. And but eventually the master gets shot and dies. The younglings run off, and you hear the Emperor's voice booming, "Execute Order 66" over all the stuff that's going on. And then we open up with a town. I assume it's Mos Eisley, because that's where Obi-Wan lived, or close to at least, in the A New Hope.
Yeah.
But the Inquisitors arrive. You have the Grand Inquisitor, which is the main guy, played by Rupert Friend. You have Reva, who is also called the Third Sister, I believe.
Yes, I think it is the Third Sister.
Yeah, Third Sister. And then you have Fifth Brother, which is this guy's green. He was in Clone Wars, I believe. And you guys are going to already find this out over the course of this show. But I have not watched Clone Wars or Rebels, but I do plan on doing that and talking about it on the show.
Neither have I, unfortunately. I always heard they're great shows, though.
Yeah. But yeah, the fifth brother is played by Sung Kang. And yeah. Okay. Let's see here. All right. But they show up and they're looking for Jedi. They go to this cantina. And it's this very intense scene where he's talking about why Jedi are basically hunt themselves. And he's basically, you can tell he's deducing there's a Jedi in this bar. And they find the guy. Reva throws a knife at the bar owner. And the Force stops it. And there's a Jedi sitting in the end. They start chasing after him. He manages to escape. And then Grand Inquisitor gets on to Reva and's like, you need to stop with this. Like, what? I can't remember exactly what he said to her, but I know something was along the lines of Kenobi is not your problem, because she's got some kind of fixation on Kenobi.
Yeah, she is very obsessed with him. As far as I know, the past two episodes, they have not fully explained why she's after him specifically. And me and many other, and so is you, theorize it has to deal with that opening scene of the Order 66.
Yeah,
because they're all once Jedi and then turned over.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but we catch up to Obi-Wan. He's working out in what looked like they're cutting meat out of a dead creature in the sands of Tatooine. And let's see, he takes a piece with him and he goes back. He goes to his cave. He lives in a cave.
hut.
Yeah. And in there, he's like using his portions or whatever he'd got, kind of like what Rey had in Force Awakens. And just makes food and is getting ready to eat it. And one of the Jawa comes by, and I don't remember exactly. He said his name a bunch, but I'm not.
I don't remember
his name. I think it was a girl, actually, from what I read. Mm-hmm. But it gives him this like toy of a ship, which, if you remember, in A New Hope, is the exact same ship that Luke Skywalker played with in one scene.
Yeah,
and which I thought was really cool. They have this whole conversation, and then the Jawa reveals it took a piece of something from a broken Jedi, just a belt from a Jedi ship, and he was like, "Oh, the Jedi are all but extinct now." And it's this very like doubtful, sad Obi-Wan. He's like, he's lost. There's no reason to fight anymore.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's lost everything.
Yeah,
all his friends and all that. It's crazy.
Yeah. And he continue on. He lays down and he has a nightmare of all the stuff that's going on. All the stuff that did go on with Anakin and Padme dying and all that. And then he wakes up and he goes, Master Qui-Gon, I need you. And that was like the end of that. He's trying to communicate with Qui-Gon, which I'm 100% sure we're going to see him in this show.
Yeah, Liam Neeson? That'd be dope. That'd be very dope.
But, yeah. And then it switches to something that completely blew my mind. They go, and it shows this beautiful-looking city, which it happens to be Alderaan, which is the very first time we've seen Alderaan in anything, besides, like, hearing about it. But you see all this girl getting dressed up as fancy clothes and all this. You're obviously meant to assume this is Leia, and turns out this was Leia's place. And her mom comes in to get Leia, and it turns out it wasn't Leia that was being dressed as some alien girl, and Leia was off running into the woods. And let me just say, and I've talked about this with other people, but this is excellent casting for young Leia. That reminded me perfectly of like a young Princess Leia. Like, had the like snarky remarks and all that.
Oh yeah, she's very. Very. I mean, I think for a child actor, I mean, I think. Dude, what's this girl's name, by the way?
Let me see. Let me look it up. All right, the actress's name is Vivian Lyra Blair.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job.
Nope. All right. But continue on. She's off running in the woods. We meet her little robot, Lola. I want to ask old CB over here what he thought about Lola. What do you think? Really? All right. Well, I guess
just a snarky remark, don't you think?
And I know maybe you should have played Leia.
I know. I'll try. Season 2. I'll go for it. And else on.
There you go. All right, but Leia's off running in the woods with Lola, and she's a little bug robot, and she's identifying ships and all that. Her mom shows up and tells her to get down, and they go back. They have to meet their extended family for some kind of dinner. Eventually, I'm not sure when this happened. I think this is later on, but they do meet the family. There's a really funny interaction between her and her cousin. Her
like cousins, they like kind of like abuse droids and all that.
Yeah,
and she's like more or less friends with them.
Yeah. But let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at this just to make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I am. So the Leia is goes and does that whole thing with her cousins and or her cousin and talks about how maybe I shouldn't, if I don't talk about lower life forms, then why am I talking to you? I've seen the episode twice and that gets me every time. It's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Let's see. Skipping around, Obi-Wan tries to give the toy to Luke, that ship or whatever, and Uncle Owen shows up and throws the toy down at him and says, "Stay away from us." And he was like, "Well, you know what I said, Owen, when the time comes, he must be trained." He was like, "You trained his father." And stay away.
Why is Owen got? I always like that biggest. No, never mind.
Yeah.
It's like, man, chill.
Yeah. But why at that time the Inquisitors show up and they're questioning people. They cut off a lady's hand.
Oh yeah, that part was like crazy. It was very like not brutal or anything. It's just like, man, I can't believe they kind of went there a bit.
Yeah. But eventually they leave. They were questioning Owen a lot and they threatened him, but the fifth brother took Reva away, and she's like super obsessed with Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan thanked Owen, and Owen was like, "I didn't do it for you." And turns out, we find out later, Leia gets kidnapped by this group of what look like smugglers, but they're working for Reva. And did you recognize that smuggler that took her, the bald guy?
No, it looked like the guy who played freaking Yondu or whatever from Guardian.
No.
That's what I thought.
That is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. She gets kidnapped, and Bail Organa, who's also a returning actor, we got a returning actor from the prequels, calls Obi-Wan and tells her that I need you to go after Leia. She needs your help. And he says, no, find somebody else. He says, I haven't fought in 10 years, is what he said. He hasn't used the Force in 10 years either. And so he says no to finding Leia, and he goes off to his job and then comes back. Turns out somebody's in his cave or his house or whatever. Mm-hmm. He goes in there, and there's this shot where there's the guy standing there with like a cloak on, and I immediately thought, I was like, Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
Because they shot it to look like it was a Jedi, but then they took the hood off and it was Bail. And I was
he's
like,
in there in person.
Yeah, he showed up and convinced Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan went and dug up his lightsabers. That made me happy. And he goes to leave. Both
his and Anakin's lightsaber.
Yeah. There was I do want to get back to this. The Jedi that was at the bar at the beginning goes up to Obi-Wan at one point to try to get him to help, but Obi-Wan says no and tells him to leave and bury his lightsaber somewhere in the sands. Obi-Wan sees the body of that Jedi like hung up in the middle of, I guess, assumed by the Inquisitors. And he goes to leave, and there's this really cool shot. It shows his lightsaber on his hip, and he the wind pushes back his cape, and the lightsaber's there. and he walks off to get on the ship, and then the episode ends. That was episode 1. 2 is very. I mean, not much, there's big stuff that happens in 2, but not as much.
2 is a little bit more action.
Yeah.
Based, and
you're going to get Leia at a planet called Dayu, and there was a really cool moment where he go up and there's a clone veteran on the street, and he tries to get money in his helmet, and it was Tamora Morrison, the guy that played all the clones and also Jango and Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty cool. And then Obi-Wan's going around looking for Leia. Finds the place that Leia's at, and gets into a fist fight with raiders or whatever the word. The smugglers.
Dude, I think you're missing a kind of important part.
Oh, I was trying to. What did I miss?
The part where he meets that guy.
Oh yeah, you're right. I am missing that. That's important. So he does. This little boy comes up to him and tells him, "I can help you. I know a Jedi." And he takes him to him, and then he meets this Jedi played by Kumail Nanjiani.
I completely forgot he was supposed to be in the show.
Yeah, I thought it was great. But let's see. He meets this Jedi, but I say Jedi in quotation marks. Yeah,
very very heavy quotation marks.
Yeah, because he smuggles his family out and gets money for him. And I love the whole thing where he's like talking on there. He's like, "I am leaving your mind now."
Yeah, it's just all pride. Yeah,
he's a swindler.
The thing is, I thought it was very weird. I was like, "Oh, well." First, I actually kind of bought it. I was like, "No way, they're gonna like make him like a Jedi." He's like very like silly or whatnot.
Yeah,
but no, it's like it's all just a not a prank, but like a show.
Yeah. But turns out he had magnets and stuff. Obi-Wan held a gun up to him. Then I was like, oh. He wanted location of Leia, and he got it. I think he got it.
Yeah. But
he went into this place, very like, I don't know, it's like a drug lab or something. And
some type of some mess with chemicals. Yeah, it's hard to tell what it was.
And he snuck in there, and like I said, he beat up the smugglers, and found Leia. And then the smugglers, he thought he found Leia, but it wasn't. And the smugglers threw him up against a wall and were about to kill him, but then he broke some of this spice that he got from some drug dealer, which was actually Ewan McGregor's daughter, the actress. But he broke some of that, and it like turned them all like they're on like a trip or something. And you know what? I just realized I missed something from the first episode. Lola gets broken. That was
yeah.
That was mad. Anyway, going back, he goes and now he finally finds Leia. He meets her, and he's going by the name Ben, which is what he went by in New Hope. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy to like. It's weird how you like. How do you not like Obi-Wan, Ben?
Yeah. Well, I get. Well,
Ben is like.
Well, Luke asked if he's a relative of his, which I guess you go by with that because it's all like, oh, same last name or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I always thought that was weird. Dude, like, at least change your last name too.
Yeah. But see, they're treating it. Ben is like like the glasses. And Obi-Wan is Superman.
Yeah. Wait, what? Ben is the glasses?
Ben is the glasses, and Obi-Wan is Superman. You put the glasses on, you're Ben.
You're Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least Superman changes his full name.
Well,
it ain't like Clark Man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Clark Man.
Clark.
But anyway,
I'm gonna change my name to Jerry Boost. And I want you to take a guess what my original name was.
Maybe a relative of yourself. I don't know.
Spider Parker. So, come on.
But they find Leia, or he finds Leia, and they're trying to smuggle her out. The Inquisitors show up, and they're looking for him. They put out a bounty for him at one point, and everyone's going after him. And he's trying to get Leia safe. Leia does not trust him. doesn't think he's a Jedi. And eventually, I don't want to skip too much, but I'm kind of going to so I can get to the end of this because we got a lot to talk about. They meet. Well, this beforehand. Never mind. They're getting chased by all these bounty hunters, and Leia runs away because she saw that everyone's going after Obi-Wan or Ben, and
doesn't really trust him.
Yeah, and she's running. Obi-Wan's chasing her. They climb up on this roof, and he's running, and she's like just won't stop running. People are shooting at Obi-Wan. He's shooting back, and it's all this crazy stuff. And then the Reva at this time is on her way to get Obi-Wan, even though the Grand Inquisitor told her not to and that she would be dealt with and punished. And it's like this whole parkour thing where she's like flipping off buildings and doing all this crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. But eventually, Leia gets to the edge of this building. She's getting ready to jump the gap between these two buildings. Obi-Wan's trying to stop her, but she jumps and misses and falls, but grabs onto a wire when she falls. Obi-Wan is trying to, she's yelling at her to like hold on.
Just to say, hang on,
yeah. And she doesn't. And I like this scene a lot. This is like my favorite scene of the whole episode, besides the end. And where she's falling, and he's like screaming, and he reaches his hand out, and it's been 10 years. You got to touch back into the Force, and he catches her. I loved it.
Because he can't do it right away.
Yeah,
it's great. Again, great. Yeah, I'm so glad they didn't make it like he just do it. You know.
Yeah. One thing I say about the show, it kept me. I had a big smile on my face the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I was seeing. It's because of Obi-Wan. That's only reason.
Oh God, it's Obi-Wan. so happy.
I did want to point out that Reva interrogates Kumail Nanjiani's character to find out where Obi-Wan is, and he tries to pose as a Jedi. Doesn't work. She's like, "You're not a Jedi."
Yeah, she like force chokes.
She does that whole thing that Kylo Ren does.
The wall. He says, "Oh, those aren't magnets."
Yeah. That's how she finds. She's chasing after Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan saves Leia and gets down. Tells. Wait, no, hold on. That happens after this part that I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm trying to remember this all from memory. And Leia trusts Obi-Wan now, and then that's when he shows up and says, "I'll cover for you." They're running to get on. He gives them this key to get on this ship and leave, and they're running to that ship, and he, like I said, he distracts Reva at one point, but Reva finds out where they are, chases after him. They're going to the ship in this like loading dock or whatever, and that's when Reva shows up, and Obi-Wan gives the key to Leia and says, "Get in the ship. If I'm not there, just go on without me." And he pulls out his lightsaber, and I was like, "Tell me about to get a lightsaber fight," but we didn't. But then she's going around. She's like, "Obi-Wan," and she's trying to call me like, "You can't hide. We're just going to deliver you to him." And she said, "Lord Vader will be pleased." And then this whole part is just awesome. Yeah. Obi-Wan just like, his face, just like complete shock, basically. And she's like, "You heard that, right?" She was like, "Anakin Skywalker is alive," and he's like sitting there like in disbelief.
Yeah.
And the Grand Inquisitor shows up while she's looking for Obi-Wan. And a Grand Inquisitor says, "Let me show you how this is done." He goes to throw one of the boxes out of the way, and Reva stabs him, presumably killing him. I don't think he's dead.
Yeah.
But
he's kind of down for the count a bit.
Yeah. It could be a back to tank. They could have brought him to a back to tank. But yeah, that happens. And then Obi-Wan runs to the ship and gets him with Leia. Reva runs up to him. She's like, "You can't hide, Obi-Wan. We will find you. He will hunt you down," I think is what she said. And he's on the ship, and Leia's like, "You all right? What's wrong?" And it zooms in on Obi-Wan's face, and he's like still in disbelief, and he says, "Anakin?" And this is the coolest transition. I love it. He said right when he says Anakin, it's like a blink of an eye, and like this huge bass booming sound, and you see Darth Vader floating in the back to tank, and his breathing, and like the music is so epic. And then the screen cuts to black, and you hear his breathing one last time, and the episode ends.
Yep.
And
what a great way to end it all.
I wish we made our bet now, because I would have money.
Yes, I knew. I mean, honestly, I think it would. I knew he was going to show up in the second episode.
Did you though?
In some ways, I did know. I'm the one that said it.
That was so good. But yeah, that was Obi-Wan Kenobi parts 1 and 2. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna rate it because
Okay.
I'm just not gonna do ratings. I don't have time. But
you don't want to hear my rating. That's what it is.
Okay, we'll rate it then. Fine. we'll rate. All right. Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes 1 and 2 as a whole. The first introduction. We're gonna rate them both at the same time.
We'll say same time?
Yes, the same number for both. Like overall, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I know what mine is. I'm gonna go with a. You know what? Both of them together, I'm going with a 9.
9. I'm gonna go with an 8. Just to be sure. I mean, the show's bad at all. Just 8.
All right. And that was our review.
Well, no. What about CB7?
Let's see. Well, you see, I got a show to do right now. No, CV, I'm not leaving you out. Okay, let's listen to what he's got to say right here. His rating. Hold on. Well, that is a terrible rating. The show is way better than that. What's wrong with you?
Everyone's a critic, I guess.
All right, well, let's get into some Star Wars Celebration stuff that happened. All right, Star Wars Celebration. We got a trailer for the Andor Disney Plus series.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that. Yes, we did.
Okay. So cool. Andor takes place before. There's already a second season coming, but this show takes place before Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Season 2 will lead directly into Rogue One with 12 episodes. But one is going to be... We don't really know much because it's a teaser trailer, but from what we saw, there's some cool, like, rebellion kind of thing rising up. And I don't know. I don't know much about it. I can't really give my thoughts, really.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy what I saw, at least. I think Andor was one of my favorite characters in that movie.
Yeah.
So I'm happy he's getting his show.
Didn't they have already confirmed like 4 seasons of this already or something like that?
Not 2 seasons.
2 seasons, okay.
But the show comes out August 31st. So we're getting some Andor action in August. Here's some good stuff. Let me look this up just so I can read it correctly. Because they confirmed that The Mandalorian Season 3 is coming next year. Here we go. So they had some footage that played at Star Wars Celebration, but we haven't got to see it, but they have descriptions of it. And let's see. Jon Favreau also confirmed that he is now writing Season 4.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wonder how long the show's going to go.
That's a good question. There was a sizzle reel for it shown for Season 3 yesterday. And there was an additional minute of footage, though. And it showed shots of Mando flying in his N1, which he gets in Book of Boba Fett, with appears to be R5-D4 as his co-pilot, which is the red astromech that Owen Lars had originally purchased from the Jawas in A New Hope before R2-D2. Remember the one where he was like, "Oh, take that one," and his head exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be his co-pilot. It's interesting. We see more action shots of Mandalorians, including one group jumping from a ship paratrooper style. There are more shots of Grogu being cute, such as looking out a cockpit window at what appears to be fireworks, and of him watching Bo-Katan eating. It's unclear if one of these characters is droid smith Babu Frick, who was introduced in The Rise of Skywalker. The additional footage also reveals several Anzellans. I think that's how you say that. And so it's Babu Frick's kind, his species. I'm going to read you the complete description of the little trailer type thing that they showed. All right, here we go. The footage began with Din, aka Mando, and little Grogu visiting the armorer, who, like a judge handing down a harsh sentence, makes it crystal clear that Mando has messed up big time. Now, this branches off of Book of Boba Fett, which, Landon, you have not seen, and it is a mistake. And
I'll keep what I said. I don't feel like watching it.
Well, you have to, because none of this makes sense. Where he was officially stripped of the title Mandalorian. And she tells him, "You have removed your helmet, and worse, you did so of your own free will." The armorer says. The footage then cuts to a shot of the ever-adorable Grogu's reaction. This elicited hearty laughter from the crowd. She says, "You are no longer a Mandalorian." She also added, "Redemption is no longer possible." We then follow Mando and Grogu as their travels take them to reconnect with their ally Greef Karga, played by Carl Weathers. As Mando and Grogu approach Greef's compound, a pack of Kowakian monkey lizards, like Salacious B. Crumb from the old Star Wars, is perched on a tree snickering at them. Greef is decked out in a pretty impressive outfit, complete with the red robe. He seems to be doing very well for himself, like he is perhaps in a new high-ranking position of power. He greets Mando and Grogu warmly. The sizzle reel includes a myriad number of atmospheric shots of sets in a sequence where Mando and Grogu are being chased in their new N1 ship by several enemy ships. We see Rebel X-Wing pilot Captain Carson Teva and Rodian meeting with mechanic Peli Motto, which is the lady from Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian, who is the one that introduced Grogu back to Mandalorian after he was with Luke. There are also quick glimpses of galactic scientist Dr. Pershing. Greef looks like he's about to get into a quick draw duel with someone. We also see Mando and Grogu floating along in his hoverpod, exploring what appears to be the mines of Mandalore. There are also several shots of different Mandalorians. Yes, we're going back to Mandalore in season 3. Okay. He's going to try to redeem himself in the caves of Mandalore, is what the armor told him in Book of Boba Fett. Now, Book of Boba Fett was only a Boba Fett show for half the episodes, and the rest was a Mandalorian show. So, it's the build up to the return of Sakoff's Bo-Katan that hints at the conflict looming between them in this coming season. Mando walks down a long hallway and finds Bo-Katan sitting on a throne. She's not exactly pleased to see him. Bo-Katan says his cult, in quotations, with reference to the Children of the Watch, had given up on Mandalore long before the Purge. She said, "Where were you then?" Mando tells Bo-Katan, "I'm going to Mandalore so that I may be forgiven for my transgressions." As you may recall from the end of Mandalorian Season 2, Mando had beaten Moff Gideon in combat and taken the Darksaber from him. And although he offered it to Bo-Katan without any strings attached, she refused. She had taken the Darksaber before without winning it in combat, and things didn't exactly turn out well for her. Now Mando has a greater claim to the throne of Mandalore than she does. At the very end of the Season 3 sizzle reel, we see a fully armored Bo-Katan in action, where she says to Grogu, "Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?" And that's where the preview ended.
Interesting, okay.
She is the villain, it seems. We also found out that Moff Gideon will be returning, played by Giancarlo Esposito. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yep, that's the Mandalorian news next year. Beginning of next year, I think. February. All right. Star Wars Skeleton Crew. That was revealed. So let me look up the information on that.
Oh god, that's what's his face? His project, right?
John Watts.
Yeah, John Watts.
Yep, John Watts left Fantastic Four to go do some Star Wars. Let's see here.
I would have stayed with Fantastic Four in my opinion, but I mean, it ain't every day you do a Star Wars project, so
that's true.
Know.
All right, let's read. So it comes out in 2023 and will star Jude Law, who played in Captain Marvel. He also played Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts movies. It's created by Spider-Man No Way Home's John Watts and Christopher Ford, and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will serve as producers. The series will follow a group of 10-year-old kids from a small planet who will get lost in that galaxy far, far away and must try to find their way home. The story will take place after Star Wars Return of the Jedi and fit within the timeline of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. It was described as a galactic version of classic Amblin coming-of-age adventure films of the 80s. They said, it may look like a child's show, but it is not a child's show.
It's a child's show. Okay.
So that is...
Yeah, I'll be into it if it got like really dark and all that.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have something that's a little less important, but I mean, some people are probably excited for it. We have a new Lego Star Wars movie, I think, coming. They revealed it, so I'm just talking about it. Called Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation.
This is what it's called.
Yeah. It says this summer will be fully operational. Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation and the original special series is streaming August 5th. Original special, not series, sorry. Summer Vacation takes place after Episode 9. So after Rise of Skywalker. It sees Rose, Rey, Finn, Poe, and Chewbacca.
They took a vacation?
I guess. It sees Rose, Rey, Finn, Poe, and Chewbacca taking a vacation after defeating Emperor Palpatine. I discovered throughout this special that a number of other Star Wars characters in history have also tried to take vacations, which hasn't always gone well for them. And of course, there'll be a couple of musical numbers. A whole roster of Star Wars favorites will make an appearance during the special, including C-3PO, Lando, Boba Fett, Rey, Poe, Obi-Wan, Rose, Jabba the Hutt, Anakin, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, Finn, Han Solo, Leia, and Palpatine. We'll also see Lego Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures characters Wick Cooper and Valeria return. And there will be celebrity cameo from Weird Al Yankovic voicing a character named Vic Vanco.
What the?
Oh, I want to point out, by the way, in Obi-Wan, did you see the cameo that showed up for 1 second?
In Obi-Wan?
Yes, it was in the first episode. C-3PO was in the show.
He was?
Yes, for a split second. It wasn't. There was one that came up to the table with Leia's Silver, named like YO, I think she called him. That's not it. If you look at one point, it shows a golden astromech, and if you listen, you can hear the voice, and it makes sense because she owned C-3PO at the time. So
okay. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't see him at all.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, Lego Star Wars. There we go. Here's something good. Star Wars Jedi Survivor trailer drop.
I'm not. When that trailer, I was hyped for. Very hyped for.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So, I mean, it's a cinematic trailer. Not much happened where you meet some kind of villain who is described as being a senator who makes a deal with Cal. Cal looks significant, a little bit older. Takes place 5 or I don't remember. I think it's 5 years after the first game.
5 years, okay.
At the same time that Obi-Wan takes place. And
one time you've seen him Cal Kestis in Obi-Wan.
Hey, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. But he's talking. We see not much action in this. We see some stormtroopers walk by and the senator or whatever. But it keeps focusing on this guy suspended in a Bacta tank, it looks like, in this like abandoned place. And the rumors are that is either Starkiller or another version of Cal.
Oh God, I swear, if it is Starkiller, the game's already a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Come on, give me. And there was a shot of him fighting somebody with a red lightsaber. And it's some like cloaked figure. I don't know.
I thought that was the sister for a minute. The seventh sister or whatever.
Yeah, she's dead now. So.
Oh yeah, she did die in that game. I forgot. I haven't played it.
Killed by Vader. CB, don't mess with our recording. All right, I'm just going to kick you off of this podcast if you keep doing it. Come on.
Now I see why people hate droids so much.
I know this is why they don't allow your kind in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Yeah. I don't blame them. I'll be honest with you. But anyway, let's continue on.
You bet we're robot racists.
Yeah. Go on. Go over there. Leave. Yeah. Be sad. I don't care.
Eat it.
Yeah. Next, though, we talked about Jedi Survivor. I'm very, very excited for that game. I will be playing that next year. It comes up. All right. Next, this is exciting. Most exciting thing in this whole list. New TV show coming, titled Young Jedi Adventures.
Ooh,
no, it's not. But, I'll read you one in a minute. Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures. Set during the High Republic era, the original series follows younglings as they study the ways of the Force and become Jedi. Compassion, self-discipline, teamwork, patience, and friendship. Young Jedi Adventures is coming to Disney Plus and Disney Junior spring of 2023. Aimed at pre-kindergarten children.
Okay, so...
Under the guidance of Yoda.
Under the guidance.
It will include lightsaber battles and other staples of the Marvel Star Wars universe.
Okay. I mean, it's a kid show, you know.
Yeah.
Good
I won't be watching. I will not be watching.
Summer vacation will be enough for them little brats, but
jeez.
But I guess you gotta give them another thing.
The next thing they talked about was Ahsoka show coming out. They confirmed that it's going to follow directly the story of Rebels. They said that almost every main character from Rebels will be in this show in live action.
Okay.
They talked a little bit about how they're going to be looking for Ezra Bridger, which is the main character of Rebels, and focuses on that. Also, Hayden Christensen is going to be in the show. That was confirmed.
That's cool.
So there we go. Continuing the story of Rebels, I'll be watching this. They also saw that they have made her Leku longer, which are like the braid type things that connect to her head. They're longer now, like they are in the show, so to make fans more happy.
When does it take place?
Same time or after Mandalorian season 2.
Okay.
Yeah. In Book of Boba Fett, she shows up too, but she's kind of just like there to oversee Grogu, I think.
Yeah.
Next, this is something I'm actually really interested in. This next thing, it's called Tales of the Jedi. Let me read about it here. Here we go. It's also footage recap, but I'll read you about that. Tales of the Jedi will bring fans 6 15-minute shorts showing characters Ahsoka Tano and Count Dooku at different stages of their lives. Star Wars creator Dave Filoni's executive producing this series was showed off an exclusive teaser in the first episode at Star Wars Celebration. We can't show it to you they didn't show it to him, but they break down everything. It comes out fall of this year. So let's see. It showed a lot of baby Ahsoka. And apparently Liam Neeson is coming to voice Qui-Gon in this.
So if he's coming back to do that, I mean, hey, I think a big chance of Obi-Wan then.
Mm-hmm. It'll focus with three episodes focusing on Ahsoka and 3 focusing on Count Dooku. Ahsoka's episodes will be spread across her life and will give glimpses of her childhood days, her time spent with Anakin Skywalker in the Clone War era, and facing an Inquisitor after Order 66. Count Dooku's episodes will have a similar format and will focus on a different part of his life as a Jedi before he turned to the dark side. Liam Neeson will appear in Count Dooku's stories, and the episodes will even feature a younger Qui-Gon Jinn that was voiced by Liam Neeson's son, Michael. As noted by the IGN alum and fandom managing editor Eric Goldman, shared that one of Ahsoka's episodes, Life and Death, was shown at the panel and showed Ahsoka's very early life with her parents. It ran about 15 minutes, and Star Wars Battlefront 2's Janina Gavankar will play her mother. It was a Dark Horse comic series, Tales of the Jedi was, that explored the ancient history of the Jedi Order and their war with the Sith. And this is just one of those shows that's coming.
Yeah.
Comes out fall this year.
It's just one of those shows.
Yep. Next was the trailer for season 2 of The Bad Batch. Then again, this is another show I've not seen. I do plan on watching it and talking about it on here, but I've heard it was really good. I watched the trailer for this. It was cool. There was a Wookiee with a lightsaber, so that's fun.
Okay.
And it's just a bunch of stuff. Not much I really could make sense of because I haven't seen the first season, but I do plan on watching that. But yes, they did show the trailer for The Bad Batch season 2. Mm-hmm. Finally, the final thing that they showed they revealed, that, Star Wars Visions, the show that had come out. Well, they announced that there is a Star Wars Visions Volume 2 coming.
Thank Lord. Have you ever seen Star Wars Visions?
I have not. Is it good?
It's fantastic.
Oh, there you go. You're getting a volume.
Love, Death, Robots.
Yeah.
It's like that, but instead of the Star Wars universe, it has different animation styles each.
Well, hear this. Here we go. A series of animated short films that celebrate that galaxy far, far away through the lens of anime creators will officially return in spring of 2023 with Volume 2. Volume 2 announcement was made during Star Wars Celebration. It'll be great news for those looking for a fresh and new take on the Star Wars universe. Let's see here. The English dub cast also featured many voices in the first season, including Tamora Morrison, Neil Patrick Harris, Simu Liu, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Alison Brie, Henry Golding, George Takei, David Harbour, Lucy Liu, and more. Okay, they don't talk about it on here, but I did find out that the second volume will feature different animation styles and stories from tons of different places around the world. And one of them happens to be California, which is interesting.
California animation?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess we'll find out about that. I need to watch some of this stuff. I'm going to start watching Clone Wars very, very soon. I might even do it as soon as tomorrow. Okay. But yeah, that is all the big stuff from Star Wars Celebration this year.
Yes. All great news, I would say.
Yeah.
Even if stuff's like not for you, like Disney Junior show, I mean, it's still. I mean, it's like everyone's getting a piece of action here, and that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Yeah. I guess that's everything, and I guess we can go ahead and get ready to end this out, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for this very first episode of the Galactic Burrito here in DJ's Cantina. I have been your host, Darien.
Been your second host, Landon.
And this has been your, sadly, your third host, CB. Say goodbye, CB. All right. And I guess we'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
See ya.